Yeah.
They are yumminess. Yummy chips. They burn your tongue if you eat too many of them because they're prawn cocktail. At the same time, if you're in a relationship and you've got 5 men and 1 woman, a poor woman, she has to be the only person who sexually pleases 5 guys. She ain't gonna get anything done. Make sure you leave comments, even if it's just saying hi. I like saying hi. I had to redo Reese's Destiny, my first book, because I got it edited once. But I may have been a little lazy when she sent me the re-edits. My eyes went cross. She just sent me a document with a load of red lines on it and fixes, and my eyes just went, no. I went, okay. I just got to accept everything and assume you're right, because that's your job. Because this is giving me a headache. And quite a lot of views were like, this is a really good story, but it really needs to go through an editor. And I was like, whoopsie.
Yeah.
And then I got my new editor and the book got bigger. Because she read it out to me as we were editing it. And I'm like, no, that's not right. It should be this, or we can add more. We're just there adding to the book as we went. So Reese's book got bigger.
Yeah, I think some people's opinions on editing is different. I mean, I had some comments saying that my book needed an editor, and I'm like, it states the editor's name quite clearly at the top.
Yeah. It's been for an editor. It's also been for a beta group and an alpha group.
Yeah, so I haven't got any beta groups or anything like that. I just send it to my editor and then put it out.
I do, because I originally, when I first started, I suppose it would technically be an alpha group. And I was really I'm still not that confident with my work. I'm surprised people reads it, to be perfectly honest. I keep getting told off for that thought process. But my alpha group, they would, every time I write a chapter or two, I'd send it to them and they would fix it. Yeah. So in a way, I also learned a bit, because they would come back to me and be like, you can't really do this, or this is too, you need more action, or you need less words, more speaking. So I used it to try to improve. So I'm getting better. My editor's there, finally she's happy I'm now writing in the correct size and not doing massive paragraphs. I'm breaking them up a bit. I used to just write like in school where you got learned to write big, massive paragraphs?
Yeah.
That's how I was writing my book. So when she edited it, she was there going, this paragraph is like 4. She's having to split them all up. Because I just write in big ass chunks.
Yeah. So one thing I'll probably cut this out of the interview, which some
with some of my betas, they're always like, why are you writing this like this? And it's like, because it makes sense. I explained to them how I was going to be writing the second series first person. And they're like, but Reese's is in third. You can't swap. I'm like, I have to. If I write Z as third person, he sounds evil, an asshole, and a jerk when he's not. You need his thought process of how he's thinking to actually understand the character, because he is insane. If you read Reese's book, you find out what happens to him and why he is the insanity lovable character that he is.
Yeah.
One of my teasers just has him swinging around on a tail. Literally, he just holds on to a dragon's tail and goes, whee! Back and forth. I find it funny. I'll be like, yeah, who's your favorite character? And I'll be expecting Risa or one of her mates, the main people. Like, no, Z. It's not even his book. He's this annoying of a character. I have now had to link all my books because he pops up in all of them.
Yeah.
He's that kind of character. I've got like 20 books on the go.
Yeah.
And I'm writing a C one. And I had to try and explain the underwater dome. Next thing I know, he pops up and explains it all perfectly. And I'm sat here like, you're not in this book. I had to delete the whole perfect explanation because it just all of a sudden he popped up. And it's like,
It all pops up in your mind.
You're not meant to be in this book. So now I've
Yeah.
had to explain how he pops up in all the other books because he won't stop. He'll
Yeah.
just pop up in one book. He literally pops up, throws a bottle of lube at some. He sends a bottle of lube to one of the characters with "Have fun, Bazooka." It's like, okay then, thanks. That lets me not have to worry about that aspect of this scene.
Yeah.
But how the hell did you know they needed it? Is quite a worse than thought, mate.
Yeah. The whole thing about characters sort of crossing over between books, because I have one who's in like the third part of one of the books, that one of the series I'm doing, and then she turned up in one of the other books as well. But she was like because it was written, they're all written in first person, so she didn't sort of comment in that one. And then, but then when the third, because this one is kind of done through the eyes of different characters. When she turns up in this one, she goes, "Now, are you thinking, am I the character that was in the other book?" And she was like, "Gone," and then she was like, "Well, yep, I am." And she's like, and then she goes, "Secondly, you're thinking there's too many gay people in this book." And then she goes, and she has too many gay people in this book. She goes, "But I can't change my sexuality because I was gay in the other book, so I can't be."
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Can't change who I am.
Yeah.
My betas love my books because I write reverse harem, so it's one woman, multiple guys.
Yeah.
All the guys interact with each other as well.
Yeah.
The simple reason is I don't see the point of them not. Obviously, if they're
Yeah.
brothers, I won't have them interacting or sexually.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're in a relationship
Yeah.
and you've got 5 men and 1 woman, that poor woman, if she has to be the only person who sexually pleases 5 guys, she ain't gonna get anything done.
Yeah.
That's just not physically possible. No, it's just mean. So all my guys interact, which make it a lot easier and a lot more fun scenes.
Yeah.
Plus, you just get to do a lot more with the book then.
Yeah. So I have one of the ones where I'm doing, they're sort of getting together to talk about something that happened 20 years earlier, and they flick from past to present, and this guy's talking about the woman, and he's going, "Wow, her husband's really lucky," and stuff like that. And he ends up, and then they like little drop of little hints. And he's going like, he's going, "Her husband's the luckiest man in the world," and then by the end of the series, she's going to go, "Well, yeah, he said that. He is my husband." Stuff like that. But they drop off little hints through the whole entire series as to what's happened, but never actually say it.
Yeah.
Until the end. But it's sort of going on while they're talking about all the stuff that happened to them 20 years earlier. Yeah.
One way to do it.
Yeah. But we're here to talk about your work, really, aren't we? So the question is, what is your the next book that you've got coming out? We need to talk about
my
that.
next book is Seduced by Sloth, which is it's a co-written series of the Deadly Sins, but apart from the fact that the characters are all half brothers and they do pop in each other's book, they're not linked, so you can read them in any order.
Yeah.
You don't have to read them in order because they're not taken in that time frame.
Yeah.
So you'll find that some things will happen in the earlier books, but then you'll go into the later ones and it's earlier on before that stuff has happened. Mine is Sloth, who is officially, I call him an asshole at the minute. It's my longest book because he wouldn't get to the bloody point. He kept getting sidetracked. It's like, I know you're Sloth, but I need to get this book done. And he's like, no. Because the story is he's got to go track down his 2 sisters who are twins, and their father has kidnapped them after his mother died, and he's got planning on stealing their magic. So Lucas has to go and save them, but the mage, because they're mages where he's a water cat, hides them. So it's all about him tracking them down, getting completely and utterly sidetracked along the way, being an annoying pain in the ass. and eventually finding and saving them. Well, because he's sloth, when he's bored, he falls asleep. So he has to find interesting ways to do boring stuff. So there's one instance in the book where he's bored. So he's literally he's on his hands doing a handstand, doing push-ups while he's singing. By miming singing to himself while he's listening to music, and everyone's watching like, what the hell is he doing? And he's like, oh, he's bored. He's trying not to fall asleep. So if he's washing the pots, he's got to do it in a really fun way to stop himself falling asleep.
That's awesome. Hang on. Phone's disappeared down here.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've got the dog sitting on me and I'm trying to hold the microphone up. Okay. So, which book are you best known for?
Well, I suppose it would be my first book because I've only got 2 out at the minute, which is Reese's Destiny, which is my first book, a full-length novel.
Cool.
And Reese's Old Man, which is a short for Risa on how she met one of her mates.
Cool. Tell us about your favorite book you've written. That would be that one, wouldn't it? So yeah. Oh, that's cool. You got.
I haven't done my book.
Oh, that's awesome. I did have a paperback copy of one of mine, and then I didn't. Basically,
I'm gonna have copies of all of mine because I've also got Reese's Old Man. I'm like, they're my precious. They're going to be a special shelf in my room, just my books. My precious.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do eventually.
I'm even going to be very sad. I'm going to sign all my books to myself.
Yeah.
But I'm the author. I can sign my own book.
Yeah. I sent some to my in-laws. I think they probably chucked them in the bin. But
my uncle surprisingly enough, my uncle enjoys mine. I give him Reese's Destiny for free. Just I thought, he's probably not going to be that into it. He's read it about 20 times.
Yeah.
And he can't wait for the next one. And I'm just there going, great. Don't want to know why the hell you're interested in this book. Fine. That's good for me. So now he's going to buy all my books, which I'm just there like, yay.
Yeah, I think my father-in-law's a bit jealous because he's an author as well, but he's never really finished anything. So
he's an almost author.
Yeah. Okay. What are your favorite things to eat and drink while writing?
Favorite thing to drink is fizzy drinks like Coca-Cola or cola for you American people.
Yeah.
And what I'm drinking at the minute, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And eating is skips at the minute. I keep swapping what I eat, so at the minute I'm on skips.
Yeah, skips are good. I don't haven't had those in a while, but don't know whether Americans will know what they are.
They are yummy skips. They burn your tongue if you eat too many of them because they're prawn cocktail.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so you've spoken about your work in progress. Do you want to speak some more about it?
Well, progress-wise, I have 20 books on the go at the minute. Literally that I'm writing. I keep annoying my PA by going, I've started a new book. Because ideas just keep coming to me. I'm in the process. I've got 2 that technically have a deadline. There's Z's book, which is coming out, hopefully, if he starts cooperating with me, January. And then I've got one that at the minute has the code name Unicorn Academy because that just happens to be what's on the cover of the cover I'm using. I might change that later on, which is for an is it pronounced anthology? Yeah, anthology that I'm a part of next year. So I'm in the process of trying to get them done a little quicker than all the other ones. Yeah. It doesn't always work out like that, though.
Yeah, I get the kind of thing about having them all on the go because I've had this one on the go since probably since I first started writing in about 2003, and it just I wrote most of it, but I was only like 18 back then, and I thought it was terrible. And then it got lost, so I wrote some more of it. And then it got halfway through, and then I started doing something else. And then it's like, and then it's coming eventually because this character sort of turns up in the other books as well. But then I started writing spin-off one for the series that I was doing, and then just recently I had this idea, which is sort of a bit like the TV series Life on Mars, where the guy goes back within his own timeline to try and stop his committing suicide.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah,
It's such a good show.
I love that. I watched it on Netflix during lockdown.
I watched it on TV with my dad. My dad loved all those type of the old British humor shows.
Yeah.
He used to love also like watching Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
You should look for the US pilot, and you will see how badly the US did not understand Red Dwarf's humor. They over-explained everything.
Yeah.
It was awful. You can't. Sorry, go on.
No, I was saying there was a lot.
This is First Officer Munson. He's dead.
But it's not the career setback it used to be.
This Munson is a hologram. He's exactly the same as when he was alive, except since he's a projection, he can't touch anything except himself.
So basically, my sex life is unchanged.
Lost episode of Dad's Army, apparently, where they did exactly the same thing for America.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run? We are the boys who will stop your little game.
Although we know our finest men are off to fight the war, those at home are drilling at the church next door. The rear guard's over here.
Your name will also go on the list. What is it?
Don't tell him, Pike.
Pike.
Your name will also go on the list. What is it?
Don't tell him, Henderson.
Henderson.
They did not get our irony and our sarcasm, America.
No, and there was a rumor that they were going to remake Doctor Who with Michael Jackson at one point.
Oh God, that would have been interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it never happened apparently, but obviously
no.
never did. But you know,
just doing the Michael Jackson crotch grab when a Dalek comes out. Oh, Dalek! Yep, that's a Dalek. Stop grabbing your crotch.
Okay, folks, we're going to cut there. There is plenty more to come, plenty more chapters to come. Rachel's new book, Seduced by Sloth, is out now and probably available down there in the description. If not, you can reach it on her Amazon page, which is down there in the description. Please remember to subscribe. And here's a little clip of what's to come.
I wasn't sure.
I'm 28, but I look like 19. I know. I look 16.
Yeah.
Do not talk to anybody. Do not look at anybody. Yeah. You must be on one side of the escalator.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing you can see is a Londoner come to Manchester and discover that we do not move to one side on the escalator. And to the moon and saw a lot of things. Make sure you leave comments, even if it's just saying hi. I like saying hi.